Before the buffets, before the ocean views and the endless dessert decisions, there's one not so glamorous part of your cruise journey, and that is getting there safely. For solo cruisers, the pre-cruise window, from airport arrival to hotel stay to embarkation morning, can feel like an adventure all on its own. Whether you're flying in the day before or arriving straight to port on cruise day, bad choice by the way, these tips will help you stay smart, alert, and confident from touchdown to sail away. I am the solo cruiser Wade Heath, and if you feel like my reporting and perspective bring you any sort of value, please make sure you are subscribed to the channel and ensure that like button is firmly pressed. Here we go. Kicking things off with choose the right flight and time to arrive. The golden rule of cruising is arrive the day before. Not only does this give you a cushion in case of flight delays, but it also lets you settle in and explore a bit before boarding. When booking your flights, aim for mid-morning arrivals if at all possible. Avoid late-night landings when airports are emptier and transportation options are a little bit more limited. Stick to major airlines and non-stop routes when possible. Fewer connections mean fewer chances for lost luggage or missed flights. If you have been following me for any amount of time, you probably know I never check my luggage anymore because I often find that if something can go wrong, it does when it comes to the airlines, and I just don't give them an opportunity to do it anymore. So everything is carry-on for me. Everything is strapped to my back in order to get it on board. Anywhere I'm going for any length of time, I just don't check bags anymore. You also want to stick to major airlines and nonstop routes so that you don't have to worry about missing flights in between. Those connections can still cause problems. And of course, download the airline app so you can track your bags and any gate changes like a pro. And if someone tries to tell you it's fine to fly in the morning of your cruise, look, I did this before. I used to do it all the time when I had limited PTO. I would try and make the most of it. Just smile, nod, and ignore them. You do not want to risk it, especially when you invest so much money in a cruise. To miss it by just mere minutes or a few hours is something you will never live down. It will be one of the worst feelings in the world. So be very careful when you try and arrange plans in advance and ensure that you have some sort of flight that gets you in well in advance of a cruise embarkation sail away. Following that with book reputable airport transportation. After landing, the big decision is how you'll get to your hotel or cruise port. And look, some of the best options happen to be cruise line shuttles or official transfer partners. These are people who have been vetted by the cruise lines. You can often find these on the cruise line website under excursions. They'll typically have these listed for you from whatever nearby airport there is to the cruise port and back. You can go ahead and sink some money into that, and it's pretty reliable, even though it might be a little more expensive. Recognized rideshare apps like Uber, Lyft, etc. Certainly something you could take advantage of. Something that I do most of all is I will do rideshare through Uber or Lyft just to get me to where I need to be, or reputable taxi stands inside the airport. That is something that nowadays comes at a bit of a premium, but taxis are almost always right alongside the exit doors at the airports, and I have found that more and more airports are pushing the Ubers and the Lyfts of the world out further away, like into parking garages, into their own sort of satellite lots, and you can take a taxi within steps of the door, but if you want an Uber or a Lyft, you're going to have to hike to get to those. Now, some things you need to avoid. Random drivers offering rides in arrival zones. This is something I have been seeing more and more of lately. Not only is it happening, there are signs warning that it's happening in airports across the country. Do not just give in to somebody who says, oh, I got a car for you right over here. No. You don't know that person. You don't know their expectations. You don't know their desires. Don't you dare. Don't go near them. Unmarked cars that promise a better deal. I've seen that many times while waiting curbside, and accepting help from people who grab your luggage without asking. Tell them to drop it immediately. You are not going with them. And if there's any sort of concern, there are always dozens of staff members, lots of sheriff's department officers, airport police, you name it, there on the drives. Just wave for one of them. Wave for one of them to come help you in a situation like that. If you use rideshare apps, confirm the license plate as always, the car make, and the driver photo before getting in. You can even ask, who are you picking up? It's a small question that I think goes a long way. Moving along, pick a safe pre-cruise hotel. A pre-cruise hotel is your safe harbor before sail day, so pick one that's convenient and secure. When you're booking, you should check location reviews, of course, search for mentions of lighting, noise, even neighborhood safety. Stay near the cruise port or airport for less hassle and fewer expensive cab rides or Uber and Lyfts to get you to and from your hotel to cruise line. And avoid overly cheap motels far from the main areas. I always say if it's too good to be true, it probably is, so stay far away from those. And once you check in, ask for a room on a mid-level floor, not ground level, not the top floor. Lock and latch that door and avoid propping it open when unpacking. And keep your key card separate from anything else that shows your room number. When ordering food delivery, meet the driver in the lobby rather than having them come up. Most of them won't even come up anymore, but if that's an option, I would say no, just do it in the lobby. Don't let people come to your door. Little moves like these, they help you stay relaxed and alert, which is kind of the point before vacation starts, right? To follow that, keep your luggage and documents close. Airports and hotel lobbies can be distraction zones, especially when you're juggling passports and phones and coffee. So here's how to stay on top of your stuff. Use a crossbody bag or anti-theft back bag for travel documents and valuables. Keep your cruise paperwork, your passport and ID in one easy-to-access spot, not buried under souvenirs. I always have a computer bag that I take alongside me at any given time, and everything is slid right into it, so it's next to my right hand if I ever need to grab at it. Avoid setting bags down while checking your phone or waiting in lines. This is something I never do, whether I'm at an airport or a hotel, or even as I'm waiting to get through security at the cruise port. I never set my bags down. Everything stays on me at any time. Take a quick photo of your luggage tags and passport just in case. You never know what can happen, especially if you are traveling in an international capacity. Most cruise lines are taking you somewhere internationally, right? So make sure that you have these images at the ready. Moving along, be smart at the cruise port. Embarkation day is one of the most exciting days, I know, but it's also busy, it's loud, and it's full of thousands of people who are, let's say, distracted by vacation mode. To keep it smooth and safe, arrive during your assigned boarding window to avoid crowds and long waits outside. Keep your ID and cruise card handy but not visible to anyone. Be cautious if strangers offer to help with luggage. Only handbags to official porters wearing uniforms or ID badges. This is a hotbed of activity, these locations. There are so many people coming and going. It can be easy just to pass off your bag to somebody saying, I'll take care of it, just hand it to me, I'll take care of it. That's one of the easiest ways to get taken advantage of. And trust your instincts. If someone's behavior feels off, find a port employee or security officer nearby and let them know. We continue with use technology to your advantage. Your phone can be your best travel buddy. A few solo safety musts when you are traveling abroad. Share your location with a friend or family member during transit so they know where you are at all times. Keep a digital copy of your travel documents stored securely in the cloud. Use hotel key apps, if available, of course, so you don't have to juggle cards or worry about losing them. And turn off geotags on social media until after you've left a specific location. Too many people do that. I see it all the time, especially nowadays where social media providers seem to think that that's something that can connect us more by showcasing where we're at specifically. No. That's got danger written all over it. Don't do that. It's not about paranoia. It's about being aware and prepared, which gives you more freedom to enjoy the trip. And finally, carry yourself with confidence. One of the simplest safety tools is how you present yourself. When you look like you know where you're going, people are less likely to approach you with unwanted offers or scams. I learned this a long time ago when walking through the streets of New York City. If you look like a New Yorker, you look straight ahead, you do not get distracted easily, you're not stopping to constantly take pictures of things. These are all signals that you're a tourist. These are all signals that you can be taken advantage of because you don't know any better. What I often do when I visit New York is I just keep walking. No matter what, I don't really stop. I keep walking, unless it's to completely pull off to the side of the sidewalk and, kind of get into a doorway or a nook where I need to stop and get my bearings and understand where I'm at physically. Sometimes that has to happen just because I don't know where I'm going. I make a wrong turn, something like that. Do not make it obvious, though. Keep walking, steamroll through people. It's okay in New York City. That's allowed, believe it or not. In fact, they look at it as a sign of you being a good New Yorker. That's what happens there. So I did it after a cruise voyage one time right off of Manhattan, a port there. And boy, it served me very well. So walk with purpose, even if you're quietly Googling directions. If you get lost, step into a shop or hotel lobby. Again, this is what I did before pulling out your phone or map, and avoid oversharing details like I'm traveling alone or it's my first time here. Saying those things, instant flag to anybody looking to take advantage of you. Just don't do them. A solo cruiser with confidence is basically untouchable, and that energy sets the tone for your whole vacation. Look, the truth is, most pre-cruise travel days, they're uneventful, aren't they? But preparation helps make sure that they stay that way. A few mindful choices can mean the difference between a stressful travel day and one that feels like the perfect warm-up to your cruise adventure. So keep your head up, stay alert, and remember, safety isn't about fear, it's about freedom. And once you step on board, you can finally shift into full vacation mode with zero worries tagging along. Are you somebody who travels solo often and uses some of these tips in your own safety protocols? Do you happen to have your own tips that I did not cover here that might be helpful for the rest of us to know? In which case, I would invite you please to drop them down in the comments or head on over to the Solo Cruise Travel Facebook page, my official Facebook page where the community comes together to share tips just like this and to really get ahead of their own next cruises, making sure that they are the very best that they can be. And as always, if you have any questions for me about solo cruising or solo travel, drop them in the comments or head on over to that Solo Cruise Travel Facebook page. I would love to meet you. And as mentioned here a second ago, that cruise that took me to and from New York City with several Bahamian stops in between, that was on the Carnival Venezia. If you'd like to see what that trip was like, the entire cruise journey, everything A to Z, and all the details in between, I've gone ahead and linked that for you here on the right, the Carnival Venezia from New York, and other cruise tips and tricks here on the left for you. I am Wade Heath, the Solo Cruiser, and I'll see you next time.